Okay, well, just a minute to go for the market open. What do we have? First rates will start to come up. 90 points higher on the Nifty in the pre-open, 300 on the Nifty Bank, the Sensex, beg your pardon. There you go. I mean, we're at about 23,753. The February highs are slightly above the 23,800 mark. The Nifty Bank is up about 1/3%, 51,875. You've got the mid-cap index, which is up 0.6%, and the small-cap index, which is, I think, up about 0.5% plus as well. And like we've had for a few days now, market breadth right out of the gate, super strong this morning. And the BSE advanced decline is up on the NSE as well. So 5:1 in favor of advances in the BSE and much stronger on the NSE as well. But just sort of these are opening rates. We'll have to give it some time. The Nifty heat map will come up on your screen, gives you a quick snapshot view of how things are starting. So it's, I think, a replica of what we saw yesterday. Majority of the names are higher and about 10-11 names are starting the day lower at this point. I think the Ultratech is, I can see on the gainers board, as Nigel was pointing out, that upgrade coming in on cement from UBS. Surabhi.
Absolutely. So it's looking good, 100 points higher on the Nifty and far more green than red today. Apart from Ultratech, Ultratech is, of course, the biggest Nifty winner at this point in time, 2.5% higher. IT is off to a good start. HCL Tech, Infosys, TCS, all these stocks are up and about. Banks are chugging along quite nicely. HDFC Bank about 0.6, 0.7% higher. There's some green on Axis Bank as well. Kotak Mahindra Bank also on the positive side. So banks and IT look fairly stable. L&T is notching up a gain of about 1% or so. Some of the auto stocks are seeing a little bit of buying as well. Hero Moto, Tata Motors, Maruti, M&M. So not too much, but just about 0.5% on all of these stocks. So not too bad. On the flip side, Dr. Reddy's is lower by about 1.5%. Britannia, there's some labor issue. There's a strike at one of their plants, I think in Gujarat. Stocks down about 0.5%. Innocent Bank is seeing some more pressure after yesterday's 1.5% fall, another 0.5% today. And some of the steel counters are a little careful this morning. Tata Steel, JSW Steel, Hindalco, all the steel majors are down about 0.5%. Reliance, Lever, these are the fence-sitters, the big boys, not doing too much. But at least many of the banks and IT on the positive side looking good.
Well, that's right. EIL and RVNL, both those two, they have on order. So that's why both those two stocks have opened up in the green. Suzlon, there's an initiating coverage that's come in from Motilal Oswal. They have a big target price out there, and that explains why that one as well is doing well. It's up close to around 2% or thereabouts. Colgate, I've seen a report coming in from Investec, and they are talking about earnings deceleration likely to continue on Colgate. So that explains why that stock, in fact, is down close to around 3%. Could be weighing on the stock. Colgate, one of the big losers this morning. On the flip side, what's doing well? Ramco Cement's up. Ambuja Cement's up. Both those two participating as well. Ultratech obviously is the big gainer. Polycab, we had highlighted earlier today that one's come out of the F&O ban. That stock is up close to around 2.5% or thereabouts. A good move is what we're seeing on that particular name. Ola Electric, well, they have settled the dues with Rosmata Group. So on the back of that, you have that stock as well that's doing quite well. IRIDA, the stock continues to see its good run. Remember, it saw a sharp correction from the peak. Now, in fact, that's bounced back. And ITC Hotels as well. That one's gradually hovering around the 200 rupee odd mark. The sector of the day, though, to start off with, is the cement space. All the stocks doing quite well. Relative underperformance is what we're seeing. Dalmia, Ultratech, Ambuja, all of them firing all cylinders.
All right, absolutely. It's a solid start for that particular pack, as we've been sort of highlighting and pointing out. The number one volume-led gainer right now is Garden Reach Shipbuilders, GRSE, which is up 3%, 1754 on Garden Reach. And I mean, that defense pack is done phenomenally well in terms of just bounces. Garden Reach is one. I mean, look at names like even smaller names, private companies, Zentech, for example, Cochin Shipyard. HAL has come up very sharply as well. I think HAL is up about 25% from the lows. It's done less as compared to some of the others in that. BDL is another one. So, yeah, I mean, massive moves, in very, very short time span, like Spring Coil, right? I mean, Zentech, I think, is up another 5%. 1,600 is back on the rate on Zentech. The high, I think, was close to about 2,600. So, yeah, I mean, a fair bit going on. What else? I mean, maybe this IGIL, I think it was up 5 yesterday in the morning as well, I remember. That's the diamond certification company. So it's coming up almost back at 400. Brigade is up 3.5%, 1,027. These are, by the way, I'm just sort of reading out based on the largest volume-led gains. Info Edge Naukri is up 3% with gains. E2E networks, 5% gain, 2414 on E2E coming through. Medanta, the hospital company, 3.5%. Carborundum Universal is up 7%, 1,085 there. Chola Holdings is up about 3% or so. And then volumes drop off a cliff. Nothing really. If you go down the list and look at more gainers, I mean, this is the bulk of where we are in terms of volume-led gains coming through. On the downside, JBM Auto had an outsized move yesterday. It's down about 1.5% and large volumes. Colgate is down 3%, is the number one volume-led loser at this stage. Dr. Reddy's is down 2%. Viatec Vabag is down 3.5%. And the two refiners we were talking about with Prabal, Chennai Petro and MRPL, both are starting the day down about 2.5–3% lower. So, again, large volumes and some gains being taken off here. Ajay?
Just one more stock I wanted to point out. SG Finserv, noted investor Mr. Madhu Kela, went ahead yesterday and bought close to around 10 lakh shares. That one should come up for you on the screen. SG Finserv is now up close to around 15%. Big volumes out there for the initial part of trade. And yesterday, I think to be precise, 9.5 lakh shares or 1.7% stake was picked up by Mr. Madhu Kela. Explains why the stock is flying away. And just one more point. Earlier this morning we said that if the market needs to hold on to this rally that we have seen, and if we need to see a bit of an up move, we need the tech index to participate. And the tech index in this year itself has been a relative underperformer. This morning, it's a big outperformer. It's up 1.4%, and gradually it's approaching that 20 DMA, which is an important, crucial level. So tech is the one that's outperforming this morning, taking over the mantle from the Nifty bank.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, within the sectoral bounces we saw, the data that we put out, IT has done the worst. So yeah, I mean, there is there is room. Definitely, there is room. I think it remains about 20% off the all-time highs on the Nifty IT space.